The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another excellent edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host. Once more, do we go into the breach, dear friends.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
And what do we have going on today? Well, it's kind of a quiet day, up 7 on the S&P. Dow's up 153. NASDAQ's off 13, 14. But we continue to see getting a little indigestion out here. But we'll keep an eye on this market. But for the most part, not a big deal. Just kind of, I guess, tomorrow, we're all waiting for the FOMC meeting, the last one with Miss Yellen. We're going to find out if it's a Prince FOMC meeting. Will we hear doves cry? Wonder if anybody's quick on the draw there to pick up in the engineering studio. Anyway, what else do we have? That's kind of it. Fairly quiet, not a lot of things going on. We'll look at it again. We're going to have a couple of things happening. FOMC meeting. We've got the last few earnings really coming up before Christmas that can move the market. And probably not going to move them a lot, but does and will move them a little bit. So we'll talk about those today. Got some other stuff, some interesting charts to look at. Your phone calls make this show so much better. You can always give me a call at 877-927-6648. You can email me at path@tfnn.com. And, of course, you can always put a message in the den. And with that, we will get started.
And it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
On this day in 1901, Italian physicist and radio pioneer Marconi succeeds in sending the first radio transmission across the Atlantic Ocean, disproving distractors who told him that the curvature of the Earth would limit transmission to less than 200 miles. The message simply, the Morse code signal sent for the letter S traveled more than 2,000 miles from Cornwall, England to Newfoundland, Canada on this day in 1901. Okay, so what else do we have going on today? Well, this article kind of made me think of one of the better articles I've ever read. Read. I didn't write it. Read. And it's probably one of the most mind-opening documents I've ever read. It's about 3 or 4 pages. It's from the guy who wrote Andromeda Strain, and, of course, Jurassic Park, wrote a lot of great movies, directed a lot of great movies. But he wrote a paper called Why Aliens Cause Global Warming. And that's tongue-in-cheek. Well worth reading it. But when I read this for history today, it made me think about 1900. Because out of his passage, out of that article, what we knew in 1900, they didn't know what a radio was, or an airport, or a movie, or a television, or a computer, or a cell phone, or a jet, or an antibiotic, a rocket, a satellite, an MRI, an ICU, an IUD, what IBM was, an IRA, an ERA, EKG, an EPA, an IRS, what the DOD was, what was PCP, what's HTML, internet, interferon, instant replay, remote sensing, remote control, speed dialing, gene therapy, gene splicing, genes, hot welding, heat-seeking, bipolar, Prozac, leotards, lap dancing, emails, tape recorders, CDs, airbags, plastic explosive, plastics, robots, cars, liposuction, transduction, superconduction, dish antennas, step aerobic smoothies, 12-step programs, ultrasound, nylon, rayon, Teflon, fiber optics, carpal tunnel syndrome, laser surgery, corneal implants and transplants, and kidney transplants and AIDS. Didn't think about going to the moon. So when we make predictions, especially on me on this show, I have to always remember what we don't know and what they didn't know in 1900. But it doesn't stop us at all. We still predict. But in 100 years from now, I wonder how many more things are going to be on that list that we never even thought of on this day in December in 2017. So not much going on out there other than a lot of reflection about what I don't know about the future. But we can still kind of eke out a living here by looking at things. And, of course, fairly interesting action in gold. I was hearing Steve talk about Gold Corp. And, of course, with the Fed tomorrow, you're kind of looking at some of these stocks out here. Pretty interesting patterns, though. I do like it on a longer-term basis. Energy's coming out as this continues to come back. Seeing a handful of these stocks, but my guess is we're either going to see a bottom in gold tomorrow or that bottom's much deeper. I think there are a lot of ways to play that, probably not in the gold itself, but the miners probably going to have, they've given up a lot already. Do they really go down that much farther since they sold forward? A lot of sold forward. So they actually might get a bounce as gold goes down, as they still can make a profit as long as they turn some gold up out of the ground. But a handful of these things starting to move. We'll talk more about that probably after the FOMC announcement tomorrow. Bitcoin Rain. Yeah, that could be another Prince song. Oh, I guess he's dead. He can't make any new songs now, can he? So, as we said, kind of quiet, up 8 points on the S&P cash. Again, volumes pretty much, I think we're going to have one more day, Wednesday and Thursday are going to be the last couple of days of any kind of significant volume in this market. As we start the show today, we're just under 2.1 billion shares, which is actually fairly decent. We continue to see a lot of people shorting stocks. What is it? SNAP was what I was thinking about. I wanted to check in on this one because we're having a little bit of a pullback today. So not a big surprise out here that we're down 47 cents with the NASDAQ down a little bit. But you pretty much look at somewhere setting a high in these expiration weeks at about Wednesday. So my guess is that we're probably going to have a nice little run Wednesday, a lot of volume on Thursday, probably a quiet expiration on Friday from what I can see already. And then that takes us into the weeks before Christmas and into New Year. And as I said before, I will be gone on vacation starting Saturday, but the newsletters will continue. This my dulcet tones across the TFNN airwaves. We'll be back in a
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And Janet Yellen's going to be watching the Doves cry tomorrow. The last hurrah. I'll be glad to play Janet Yellen's theme song here tomorrow, the Janet Yellen prayer for the last time. Well, maybe the last time, but we shall see. Anyway, what else do we have happening today? Well, we'll start looking at a few stocks, but again, it's all about the NASDAQ down and the S&P up, the Dow up, of course, up too. But I don't know if you can make a great deal about it. These things are just kind of bouncy. What I did want to look and see was if NVIDIA can actually hold, and it seems like it has, 189.50, which is where it really kind of had broken out from. So hopefully it'll come up here in a second. Come on. I don't know, sometimes it's just slow. Okay. You really just need to stay above this candle of the 6th, and the close on that was 189.26. See, the low today was 190.71, or no, excuse me, low was 189.89. So if this closes, it's probably going to be okay. You had the huge volume down day on the 4th of 31 million shares, but again, for the most part, this stock has been heavily shorted, and you're just going to end up with lighter and lighter volume. I'm not a big fan of thinking that you're going to be able to run this thing into the ground before the next few days. In fact, the last 4 or 5 days, we were basically talking 24, 25, 26, 27% short sales on this. So as this thing has gone higher, everybody's short on it. I wouldn't be surprised to see it go back up to $200 by Friday. $10 could be. Am I going to risk money on it? Probably not. If the options come down, it may be a very interesting one to me. But yesterday, people were piling on with 27% of the orders started as short orders. So you have a lot of people more than willing to jump on these things. Again, there's not a lot of volume out here, but you know, it was heavily shorted before. It's still heavily shorted. As volume really starts pulling in, what do you have? You had fairly light volume. Yeah, and what was that? 9 Yeah, 9.3 million shares yesterday. Today you got about 9 million shares, so it's going to be a little more. But I just don't understand this time of year trying to get on board the short train without some kind of overwhelming news. We need a 9/11, I think, event to blow this market up before the end. Okay, and let's see what else we have. Got some emails here. We have anything else? Want to look at IBM, huh? See if anything else going on that. Well, you know, it was kind of interesting to see that we had Mr. Buffett continuing to sell this, and it really didn't blow up as he's getting out. It's put pressure on the stock, but it's not been too bad. Nice day today. Not a lot of juice. 3.8 million shares so far. But you're going into candles that had 8 and 9 million shares down. So probably limited, but could this make it to 160 for expiration? I think it could. In the next couple of days, you probably have a ton of people on the wrong side of this in the short term, anyway. So 160 would probably be my target for expiration. That would probably wipe out a lot of people on the wrong side of options and on the wrong side of being actually short the equity. Just looking at a few other things going on here. Let's take a look at some stocks that I've been looking at. We get all of them? I think I did. We've been talking about Akamai. I wanted to see how this thing did as a possible short for the first of the year. Looking for 59 bucks. It's just going sideways, so no update on this one from yesterday. See if there's anything else. UO. Nothing new on that one. Booz Allen. Still hanging at its highs. See if there's anything else out here. Delta Airlines. Okay, not that bad. I thought it was getting better. Looks like this one's headed for $55.75. That's the July 10th high. You're just going through the October 17th high. Volume's a little lighter, but not that bad going into lighter volume. And I know a lot of people had been shorting this one, so I'm thinking that this thing gets maybe 55 bucks. Yeah, probably 55 bucks is a good place for this to expire on Friday. Let's take a look at a handful of other ones. Murphy USA. We've been pointing to this one for a couple of days. It had really tested previous high on lighter volume, August 3rd, 79.78, with 1.4 million shares, with just 350,000 shares on December 4th. Kind of held up here for a few days, but the rotation is certainly down today and making some fairly ugly candles, along with of course, crude having a hard time. API numbers later tonight, and of course, EIA numbers tomorrow, and then natural gas on Thursday. Even with hints of colder weather, natural gas continues to slide lower. UNG making brand new lows, even through the high volume low of 35 million shares on the 7th. And today already 17 million shares. So we're only about half in the way of the volume out here. Again, we talked about how gold itself and some of these other ones had been making nice triangles. And the most interesting thing to me would be these things breaking out and lower. I was looking for 118 in gold. We kind of have that now. So any kind of move back or strength would imply a false triangle breakout. We've done this one before, so let's do it again. Come on. Is it here? Oh, there it is. Okay, let's zoom this up a little bit. Anyway, I like this pattern of taking a look at these longer term triangles, and what we had was something that looked just like this. And we talked about if you really were a long-term bull, the best thing would be to break out of these triangle patterns and down to about 118. I thought maybe 119 would be enough. But we continue to see a lot of these stocks in the gold miners down on light volume today. This is not a pattern that is missed before. You do have a gap at 116, so you kind of know where you're looking at. You're basically going to probably turn around on the FOMC meeting tomorrow, and or if you don't, then at least the GLD probably 116.50, 117 area. So I think you got fairly decent risk reward unless they go hog wild and say something else. We're going to break. We'll be back. Make sure and give me a call. It's a quiet day. Time for a good phone call from you at 877-927-6648. I know, I can feel, I can sense you picking up that phone now.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN, and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we're back. We're going to look at upcoming earnings, which I think are on Thursday that were the ones I was interested in. We'll do a little preview of those because tomorrow will probably be actually a fast and quick day with the FOMC meeting. The last time that Yellen can throw a few rocks out the door as she exits stage left. After the bell on Thursday night is Costco. And this has broken above the previous high, did so on some decent volume. You wanted 4.5 million shares. You got 5.7 million shares on the 4th. This thing's just been going sideways out here. Nice gap really on the 30th that started this run. But you've broken out. You're up above some highs. You'd like that to kind of pull back a little bit to support. Oracle is another one, ORCL. These are all after the bell on Thursday night. Like I said, this is kind of the last hurrah for earnings this year. Oracle kind of back up to this resistance level. Blew apart on earnings last time on September 15th. Did so with 66 million shares. You're up today on 10 million shares, even yesterday 15 million shares. The best it did was back into October 31st with 20 million shares. So again, kind of tough to really figure out that there's a lot of upside because there's probably a lot of people willing to sell into any kind of bounce. I don't think there's a lot of downside. In fact, if I was thinking of probably doing anything, I'd probably sell a put call spread on these, but I don't know. I'm not feeling real. I'm about 50-50 on it right now. But that's Thursday night. So what else do we have? Adobe, ADBE. Now, this one, of course, took off on the 19th of October, did so with 13.5 million shares. Came back in, gave you a nice doji on December 5th with just 4.6 million shares. Bounced a little, it's pulling back. Man, from everything they've been saying, my guess is that this one probably tries to get back up to the 186.27 high of November 28th. So, $10. So maybe a 5% move up on decent news. So again, kind of tough to get too much excited about. Let's take a look at next Monday. See if there's anything. I don't think there is. I'll just look through these real quickly. Okay, next Tuesday we've got Darden Restaurants. Again, not a big market mover. This thing's been all over the place, but it did finally break above the August 22nd high and is holding above that. CCL, talked to a bunch of people that took cruises here in the fall down in Florida. They all had experiences that were not very good with Carnival. This thing's just been going sideways. I don't know about that. See if there's anything else out here that would move the market. Don't see anything on Tuesday of next week. Wednesday, you got Winnebago, WGO. Always kind of interesting to see what's going on. This one just continues going higher, which is beyond me. Gas is a little lower. Maybe all those retirees are buying Winnebagos and hitting the road, but it just seems to me like maybe a blip in what's going on. We also have into next week General Mills. I won't bother with that one because it never moves, doesn't seem to move. Bed, Bath, and Below. Now this one will be kind of important for retail because this is going to be the first shot that we get an opportunity to see how this Christmas is going. This, I think they closed the books right after Thanksgiving. So you're going to get that Black Friday sale volume in it, but this is going to be the first one to really give us kind of a taste that basically closed late enough that you're going to have that Black Friday sales in there. So you've got that, two dojis out here today. This thing's probably just going to go sideways into that announcement next week. I don't see a lot of reason for that one to move. When we get to the 22nd, we've got Rite Aid, RAD. So you might have a little bit of pin action out here in that sector, but it doesn't look like much. This one looks like it's just getting into support around $1.65 to kind of aggro. Let's see what we have here for the 22nd. That's about it. Monday the 25th, nothing. See when we actually get into any earnings or anything in January. I don't really see much going on. Yeah, it's 4th of January, really when these things heat back up at least a little bit. You've got Monsanto, which is, that's the 4th. So don't have a lot of things to look at here. Well, that's kind of it. Really take into February before the earnings cycle comes back at us again. But so we've got, I don't know, 45 days or so before we go back into another earnings cycle of some sort. But it's going to be kind of quiet. But, okay, I'll look at it. Look at a few other stocks today. Wanted to look at, we looked at IBM already. I wanted to look at Apple. A lot of discussions on it. Yesterday's nice pop has a doji following it. Yesterday, 34.3 million shares. Today, just 13 million shares and going sideways. Let's take a look at its brethren, SKWS, right? SWKS? Is that right? Yeah, Skyworks Solution. This one's down at the end of its trading range, which goes back to the 94.35 low of June 29th. That was 3.1 million shares, got pierced by 93.05 on December 6th and bounced a little. Foxconn, the assembler of all of Apple's products, actually had some fairly good numbers. And that indicates that maybe things are not as bad for some of these suppliers as people might think. Apple seems to be always the one that everybody goes to. These actually paint a little darker picture of Apple's future. Avago's so wound up in the purchase of Qualcomm that I don't know if that one is a good one to really look at much anymore. Of course, their next buyout offer probably going to come any day now, and let people think about that through the Christmas season to see if there's anything else. When we come back, we'll look at Cirrus Logic and some of these other semis, with the semis not doing anything exciting today, at least for people that are long. Off 8 cents, the SMA just to come back, saying probably should hold that 98.50, and it's below that today. We'll look at that. Oh.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks! Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
The TAS Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the TAS Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profiles So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the TAS Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
And we're going to go to Steve in Houston. How you doing today, Steve?
Fine, thank you, Dave. Appreciate you taking my call. Yeah, with the year-end stuff coming in, you get a lot of tax loss selling in some stocks, and then kind of a bounce the first of the year. Mm-hmm. And I was kind of looking at some of these natural gas stocks that have been kind of clobbered all year, and wondered what your thoughts were on that. One is Range Resources, RRC.
Well, my trading theory is if it comes down on heavy volume, then you probably need some time to consolidate.
Right.
And you're more likely to have a U bottom instead of a V bottom. The energy off this high of 1893 from December 1st down to the December 8th low had a lot of energy on it. And that probably, even though you had the nice, pretty much close to a decent test of the low on lighter volume, actually 14.3 million shares compared to 6.5. I like that part of it. The downside is normally you get the U bottom instead of the V bottom for when that energy comes in.
You have a price objective on that or something somewhere that you might think that is reasonable for a tradable bounce and that type of thing?
Yeah, I think that if you were looking at something for January 1 or something, trade from that $16 area to almost $19 looks pretty good. Again, I dislike the heavy volume down because a lot of times you get a lot of false starts and bounces. And normally what I like to do is if that took 5 or 6 candles on the way down, then you want to go sideways for 5 or 6 candles where no one is really pushing it up or pushing it down, where it's kind of ignored and goes sideways.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking of maybe 14 or 15 if it got down that low.
It could, but again, it's all about the weather, right? So I don't know about that. I mean, you got to go a pretty far distance to go back and get anything lower in Range Resources, right? I mean, you made some fairly decent lows. What am I looking at here? I mean, this is a $95 stock.
If you go back to 2014, it was $94 a share.
Yeah, $94.03 on April 24th.
Right.
2014. So yeah, you're back down here, and of course you've been moving down for a long time. But again, in that context, the energy was really not that bad back into this low. You got a light volume test of the low. You really need some wicked bad winter to get this thing started, and you just don't have it yet. So to me, it's always one eye on the thermometer up in Minnesota on where you want to pull this. Well, I mean, we looked at UNG before, and it's just one of the things that I think a lot of people keep missing is that every time crude goes up a buck, they keep adding more wells, and everything I'm looking at would make me think the other thing I want to see is a reduction in those Baker Hughes numbers on Friday, especially for natural gas rigs. Those things that still keep going higher. So to me, as long as the supply continues to increase, it's only going to get worse. So I would love to see those Baker. Do you watch those on Friday?
Yes.
To me, that's it. And it's hard for me to make a case that demand's going to be able to exceed what those guys can turn on at any one moment in natural gas. So, as they say, the best thing for a low price is the low price.
Mm-hmm.
When you start seeing those guys pull back the supplies of natural gas wells and rigs, and we get maybe a 1-2 punch with some deep minus 20-degree weather or something in the Midwest. I mean, that's what we're really looking for if you want to see these things come back and pop. But any kind of decent stuff, these things are really beaten down. Any kind of decent stuff on RRC would take you back up to $20.65, the October 5th high. So, these things are going to be trading like Bitcoin if the weather changes, and they're going to be trading sideways if they don't. So,
well, I was thinking the other thing that they're very big in is LNG, and that is becoming a big market over in Asia and also in Europe.
Wouldn't you rather be in the LNG shipping companies then?
That would make sense, yes.
I've been looking at them. I want to say, is it GNC, GN? It's like Golag or Gulag. I can't remember the name.
I can't remember either.
You know what I'm talking about? There's one that's like Gulag natural gas. I'll have to look for them. If that's your theory, then I think you don't want to be once removed from it, because I do think there's some pretty big business in it. But again, the lower the price for natural gas, is probably the better the market for those guys shipping liquid natural gas in ships, right?
Yeah.
The
only thing there would be the risk in the shipping of it as opposed to the resource itself. But I see what you're saying. Yeah, that makes sense.
If your theory is correct, that everybody's wanting to buy our cheap natural gas, and it's so cheap that liquefying it's not a problem, then it makes a lot of sense to me. I always had kind of the thought that Russia would pull some sneaky kind of snotty thing by cutting off the Ukraine, and suddenly those things would be hugely worth something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they can, with one valve turned off, they can basically, get 50 million people into the cold. I always wondered whether or not we had any kind of decent plan, at least the United States, for being able to ship natural gas over to them, and kind of when the Berlin Wall came up, and they put can't think of the name of it, and we had to fly all the stuff in there, whatever that was. Since my dad did it, I probably should remember the name of that whole thing. The blockade. What did they call it? I'll think about it.
Yeah.
Oh, someone says Golar. Golar. Thanks. Let's take a quick look at that one. See if we've got anything. GLNG. Anyway, I always thought that would be a very interesting business. Now, this one actually looks better. It's certainly going up. GLNG, and of course they're big on that. I actually watched a special on how the ships are made to actually change this. I think it's on YouTube. It was very interesting how they build these ships to carry the LNG, and the ships actually burn natural gas power. Kind of interesting. Anyway, GLNG.
Looks better.
Thanks for the call.
Thank you.
Berlin Airlift. That's what it was. I'll think of it.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Hi, folks, this is Tom O'Brien. Come join me next hour as we bisect and dissect these markets, right here on TFNN. Wow!
Okay, we got some more emails. I don't think he's still on the line, is he? Thanks for some of the emails here. Yeah, GLNG. So that would be the other end, but you got to think that the cheaper that natural gas is, the more they got to transport it, and the more these ships are going to be able to do well on it. But I always thought that maybe the Berlin airlift thing would work, and suddenly Ukraine and the rest of the Baltic area countries could get cut off by Russia for their natural gas, and we could step right in and cut the Ruskies out. But who knows? That was always a thought. But we shall continue on. Of course, just a couple of minutes left today, and of course, fairly quiet. Going to be quiet until, well, probably going to have a little bounce in the morning, a little sell-off, then wait till 2 o'clock. Not exactly sure why, because it doesn't really matter what Yellen says after this. She's going to probably say some stuff. Probably everybody will figure out within a day that it doesn't matter. It's all about the new Fed and the new guy. We got several people that are going to be taking seats. It will probably be the last big dove cry from her, so that doesn't change a whole lot. You know, you're going to just get into that. There's what, a 95% chance or 98% chance we're going to get that rate hike. They're scheduled 3 or 4 more for next year, so that means 1% higher by the end of next year. The real question, I suspect, is how backloaded are those 3 or 4 rate hikes last year? Yellen has, to this point, pretty much said that once this rate hike tomorrow is over, that they would probably wait until summer. So we're probably not going to be talking about rate hikes again in reality of them actually happening until May or June of next year. So we got kind of a, you know, that's going to be out of the way. Taxes probably going to be out of the way. Budget's out of the way. Probably going to get a lot of the stuff that had been kind of overhanging the market for a long time out. I think we're going to get and focus a lot more on earnings on these stocks going forward. As always, sell when you can, not when you have to. We'll see you here tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.